A print or editorial designer is someone who focuses on magazine and editorial layout design, ad design, book layouts, book cover design, or anything that requires work being sent to a printer. If you focus on editorial design, you'll most likely do magazine ads and other type of print projects with a huge emphasis on layout. These types of projects are easy to find. They do tend to be tedious at times, with larger magazine or catalog layout projects. They tend to pay a little bit less than other design niches, but not significantly less. The type of programs or software required to be a successful print or editorial graphic designer is knowing Adobe Illustrator or another vector program, and also mastering a multi-page editor like Adobe InDesign, where you can create multiple page documents with ease. A great skill set for a print designer to have will be a knack for working with large blocks of copy, being able to fit a large amount of text in a small area and making it still look clean and well designed. And having a solid foundation in layout theory is critical. This includes blocking out of basic design elements, being able to work in a grid system, knowing and understanding the rule of thirds, understanding and really practicing great type hierarchy. You'll want to be able to work well with editors to fine-tune your final copy, content, and more, as there are many times when copy becomes too long and needs to be cut. It'll be your role to determine the best overall content amount and feeling for a layout. You'll want to learn how to work in multiple pages and spreads, and know how to extend objects inside and outside of pages to create a unified professional layout. You'll need to work with photos, typography, and design elements, all at the same time. There are many specialties within print design. Editorial design is just one of them. Stationery, catalogs, greeting cards, postcards, flyers, really anything that eventually gets printed with ink and paper. There is also a subspecialty of book cover design, which may require photo editing and manipulation knowledge. You'll want to know how the printing process works, how a printer can print with digital colors and offset colors. You want to have access to Pantone Color Book, so you can be able to match the right colors when working on a design project. You'll want to know how to work with printers to find the right paper materials or textures for a printed piece. You also want to know how UV gloss finishes look, and the difference between a glossy finish and a matte flat printed finish, and how that affects the look and feel of your printed piece. Lastly, some print projects require trimming at the edge and will require you to learn about bleed and trimming to create a design file a printer can work with. There is a bigger learning curve to print design because of all this, but after working with printers and ad specs for many years, it starts to become second nature. You will need and want to be willing to learn and work with printers to achieve the look that you and your client are going for. At times, this does require a lot of emails, maybe some phone calls, going back and forth to find the right project materials and ink colors with the printer. A print designer who focuses on editorial design or other print projects may find themselves with super overwhelming projects. This is not always the case, but there can be a 100+ page document that needs to be laid out in Adobe InDesign, and this can take you weeks working on the same project. There are, however, incredibly rewarding projects that come along where you get to design smaller flip books with a large amount of design applied to make it look slick and professional. Magazine spread layout is one of my favorite print design projects, as it requires me to practice my layout skills and really stretch my creativity to add emotion to a spread that entices the reader to want to continue to read it. This is where print design can be really rewarding, to be able to hold the design in your hands and flip the pages, unlike digital design. You can feel the texture of the paper, whether it's slick or rough, and there's a beautiful tactile nature and quality you miss when you just focus on digital design. So in summary, learning Adobe InDesign for multiple page projects and Illustrator or another vector program for simple one-page projects is a first step in becoming a print designer. Next would be to study layout design theory. Lastly, understanding how to work with printers and sending and preparing files for print. Once again, if you find yourself answering yes to the majority of these questions, then print design or editorial design niche might be one of your top 3 focal niches. I love designing magazine layouts and spreads. I love the printing process, and I love getting quotes and trying to find the right varnish, paper, or ink color for my clients' printed projects. I'm okay with the occasional tedious job that may require me to sit down for several days and work through 30 to 40 page layouts. I love metallic inks, bright Pantone colors, and I love feeling all the different paper textures I can print on. I want to learn great layout theory, and I can balance photos, type, and other design elements to create a solid layout and design. I enjoy working with large blocks of type and copy and finding clever ways to present otherwise boring information. Print and editorial design can be super rewarding and fun. Most of my own design work throughout the last 14 years doing graphic design had a large focus on print design. So let's explore some other design niches.